Hello, and welcome to the first episode of my new podcast, Overstimulated AF. Those of you that don't know me, my name is Kayla. I have done this podcasting thing before in the past, and it just didn't work out. At those times, I had co-hosts, and I realize now that it is time for me to be solo. I have been on a journey, we'll just call it that, to better my mental health and to make my life feel just more happy. I was finding myself really down in the dumps, and that's putting it nicely. And I just knew something needed to change. And I found the best therapist in the world. I really did hit the lottery. I started seeing her almost a year and a half ago. It was April of 2024. And I can feel that I am a different person, in a good way. I haven't changed my values. I haven't changed my core. I am still me, but I am a happier me. And I am a mentally healthier me. And I want to share things with you guys. I want to bring people on here so that they can talk about the things that make them tick. I want to be positivity in a world that is very, very negative right now. And I might not be someone's first choice, but I'm hoping if you just give me a chance, you will be pleasantly surprised about the things that come out of my mouth. And I think you guys will be excited about the people I have on here. Things are going to get raw. I'm going to be vulnerable. I'm going to say things that people probably don't want to hear. My parents. I feel bad. I really do. But you know what? Nobody changes when they feel bad. You have to push through things and do things that are uncomfortable sometimes to come out on the other side. And that is what happened to me. I focused on things and I forced myself to talk about things and dive deep in things from my past that genuinely killed me, okay? Things that made me crumble. Things I couldn't talk about without completely breaking down. And I now am able to talk about those things without breaking down. I got through things with EMDR therapy. There is a really nice stigma that it's a crock of shit, and it is not, okay? Because I am living proof of that. For those of you that don't know what EMDR is, you know what? I need to look up the actual definition. I know what it is, but it's hard to describe. Okay, so the EMDR stands for eye movement desensitization and reprocessing. So to break it down, it is a psychotherapy treatment that helps individuals process and heal from distressing life experiences, particularly psychological trauma. It's an 8-phase trauma-focused treatment that uses bilateral stimulation, such as eye movements, to help the mind process difficult memories by activating its natural healing processes, similar to how the body heals from a physical wound. To really break it down and give an example, people like to say, oh my gosh, you didn't suffer trauma, or it wasn't that bad. There's big traumas. I get it. Some people have lost a parent. I have not. Some people have been raped. I have not. That does not mean that my trauma isn't big for me. And people have a really hard time understanding that when they hear the word trauma. It does not mean it had to be this big life-altering thing in your opinion. In my life, it was life-altering for me. Going through my parents' breakup and custody battle and lawyers and feeling like the rope in a tug-of-war game, that's traumatic for a 5-year-old, okay? Having a step-parent that made me feel extremely uncomfortable when I was such a young age, and then having a sibling brought into the picture when I went from being alone to like kind of having to fend for myself, and then having a sibling be here where like all of a sudden I feel this like pressure on me to protect this little being. It's like something that really sticks with you. And there's obviously more in that, but I'm not going to sit here and tell everyone all of my business, and nobody wants to sit here and be in a therapy session with me. I'm here to help you, but in order for me to help you, I want you to really understand what I'm doing here. I want to help people. I know that health insurance is expensive. I know that not everybody is able to get it. I know that not everybody is able to pay out of pocket for therapy. And even though I am not licensed, I can very easily be a friend. And sometimes that's really all somebody needs. So if I can be here and help in any way, whether it's being a shoulder to cry on, someone to give advice, someone to walk you through things that have happened in my life to make you feel not so alone, even if it has nothing to do with mental health. If we need to talk about parenting, moms, dads, grandparents, anything, I'm here. I want to talk. Are you an activist? Are you starting a new business? Are you an animal lover? I really, really want to hear it all. And I think that together we can form a really nice little new circle, a new little thing. And, I was thinking about this for a while. I mentioned it to a friend of mine. I mentioned it to a cousin that I really wanted to start a new podcast again. My last two did not work out. I will admit and accept defeat. I'm not going to say that they ended because of me. I will not say that. But now this is mine. I am so willing to have anyone and everyone on that wants to be here. But at the end of the day, it is mine. It is my baby. Why Overstimulated AF? Why that name? Well, everyone around me hears me say that word probably 45 times a day. I'm overstimulated, or overwhelmed. And I think we all are in our own way. Unless you are just the most patient, perfect human being, I'm sure you are overstimulated. It also kind of goes with the theme that it is not always going to be about mental health. It is going to be about other things. So it's kind of like ADHD brain. Like, okay, mental health, okay, reality shows, okay, music, okay, veganism. like we're just going to go everywhere. We're going to hit some hard topics. We're going to hit some funny topics. And I am just so excited to have you guys along for the ride. I know this video situation is not like crystal clear ultra 4K HD, and I'm okay with that, okay? I'm recording on my laptop. I have a good mic. All I care about is the audio. You can close your eyes and sit back and listen to me yap. If you feel like glancing up once in a while to look at my ugly mug, you can do that. But, I'm doing this in this platform, in this situation to test it out. My last two podcasts I did have available on all podcast apps. And I didn't really feel like many people listened. So maybe now that my face is here, it will make people stop. And even if it's just for a couple seconds. But yeah, I'm rambling, which I knew was going to happen in my first episode. I want to try to pipe down on that now though. So let's move on. Now, circling back for just a second about the word overstimulated, I just wanted to give a little example of my overstimulation. It did not affect me like this until I became a mom. And I'm not saying you have to be a parent for all of these things to be true. It absolutely can happen to anyone, but I just wanted to, to explain my situation. For me, I cannot be making dinner, listening to a TV show in the background, hearing the washer and dryer sounds, have a kid run up to me saying, "Mommy, I need this." My brain and ears short circuit and I feel like I'm going to combust. My patience goes completely out the window when I'm hearing all of these sounds. It is specifically sounds. You could say like, oh, you could be overstimulated visually. No. I've got a screen here, a screen here, a screen here. I could have a notebook. I could be taking notes. I can be, I could be doing a lot. It is the sound. It is the audible stressors that really just send me over the edge. And I've been working on it so hard. I don't want to say it's all about patience because I have been working on my patience. I feel like it is something that I've really done a great job at, fixing. But for some reason, still all those sounds, horrible. There is a very big chance I have ADHD. I just don't want to immediately jump to that because already in my therapy process, so many things that have been wrong have fixed themselves. And I guess I shouldn't say that because I have done the work. I don't want to discredit myself. It's been very hard work, but a lot of things have fallen into place and have made sense and have been less intense because of the work I've done. So I have faith that with the work I'm doing, I can kind of desensitize myself a little bit. I have found situations lately that have felt a little different than they have in the past couple of months, where I would just let that situation ruin the whole rest of my day. And like, there's no coming back from it. And I need to be in my bed. I cannot hear any more sounds or I'm going to lose it. I'm able to bounce back a little bit now. So I genuinely think whatever I'm doing is working. So, disclaimer, nothing wrong with having ADHD at all. I sincerely feel horrible for people that are battling with that because normal, healthy, perfect people do not understand what it feels like to not be able to follow through with things and you look like a flake or you look like you're not reliable. Can you imagine? You, the person listening, not having ADHD, not feeling this just overwhelming intensity, having it just consume you, and you don't feel like yourself. You know that you can start a project and finish it. You went to school, you weren't able to start a project and not finish it and then still get a good grade on it. You had to follow through. You have it in you. Oh my God, I'm rambling. I don't know. I'm trying to make sense of it and making people feel not alone. Another example of my overstimulation is I work part-time at a store, and at the end of my shift, I have to count my drawer. And if I am alone, I'm able to count it perfectly fine. I can probably even do it quickly. 2 managers in the office talking about other things and I am counting money, all bets are off. My brain completely flies to a different planet. I start sweating. I want to cry. I cannot focus on those numbers. I am so distracted, even working overtime to try to block them out. My brain overthinks. And then I feel like I'm looking at a blank wall and I don't even see numbers anymore. Like, it's a lot. And I feel this every single day in so many different ways. And it's upsetting. Like, nobody wants to live like this. And the fact that I have so many people around me that might not know I feel like that every day, multiple times. People think they know me. They think they know me. I'm saying that another time because there's weight with that tiny sentence. You can be the absolute closest person to me, and you think you know, but you don't. You could have known me my whole life. You know all of my little things, and you still do not know, and I promise you that. At a very quick glance, I am outspoken, bubbly, inappropriate, loud Kayla. I am so much more than that, and I can promise you that I am not as happy as I look. I can promise you that when you see me lose my patience, it was after multiple attempts internally to tell myself to knock it off before I explode. People make fun of me for my OCD and how anal I am and how I need things to be a certain way, how particular I am, and you don't realize that making fun of that helps absolutely nothing. It makes me rip myself apart. It makes me want to rip you apart because this is not just a matter of selfishness or I'm being a prima donna or I'm just set in my ways and I'm stubborn or whatever. No. I'm working overtime to try to fix myself. All of the negative things you can connect to me. You don't think that I connect to myself multiple times per day. You don't think I sit here and beat myself up. But I am now learning that there are things that people don't like about me that I actually love about myself. And there are things that people say is a negative that I think is something to be proud of. And I am fixing the things that I think I can work on, but I am absolutely not willing to sway on the things that I just think make me me. For example, I have family members that say I'm too much. I have family members that say I am too loud. I have people that think I'm annoying. I have people that think that I overthink things too much. And it's all true to a certain extent. But it is not enough for me to want to fully change those things about myself. I like myself. I like that I'm not a quiet little hermit crab. I do. I like that I don't take life too seriously sometimes. And I sometimes goof around a little too much like my dad. I like that about myself. I like that I am fiercely loyal and that I will always stick up and stand up for what's right when it has to do with people I love. If I see somebody I love being walked on, if I see things that I don't think should be happening, I am not going to sit back and be quiet. I'm just not. And on the other hand, I'm even better now at that than I used to be. For example, I would just be loyal to a fault and get vicious with people and just completely be so ride or die for that person that I won't even see the other side. And now I'm able to play devil's advocate. I'm able to see both sides of every single situation. Now to the point where the people that I would have always been so ride or die for, that they don't really like it when I give them a little, well, that person said that because of that. Or, well, the person was right when they mentioned that. Like, you can't be mad at them for that. It's hard to say that to somebody when you are trying to prove to them that you are on their team. But you can be on someone's team and not agree with every single thing that they're saying. You can be someone's right-hand man and not agree with all of their actions. There's a saying, two things can be true, and it is so accurate. I'm rambling again. So my overall goal with this podcast is to open up, let people see me for me, let other people come here and talk about things that are important to them. When I say I want to talk about everything on here, I mean everything. It's not always going to be deep-rooted issues and trying to fix stuff. It's just not. Sometimes it's going to be extremely humorous and just dorky and funny, and sometimes it's going to be extremely deep, and sometimes it's going to be about dog breeds and your favorite pizza toppings, and it's not going to even be about mental health. And that's okay, because I want it to just be about everything. I don't want a single person to watch this and be like, this isn't for me, because it's going to be for everyone. I am just going to be myself through and through, and everyone that I have on here, I can't wait to see who they are, and what they stand for, and their opinions and their beliefs and their hobbies and joys and sadness and sorrow and trauma, anything and everything. I am just excited for everything that this can be. So I hope you guys tune in for episode 2. I cannot tell you when that will be, because another thing I realized about myself is that if I bite off more than I can chew, I will absolutely fail. If I put too much pressure on myself, I will absolutely fail. So I don't know if this is going to be weekly. I don't know if this is going to be bi-weekly. This might be monthly. I might feel really extra chatty and I might put out 3 in 1 week. I really don't know. So I guess it'll just be like a fun little surprise when you see a new video pop up. And usually if I am planning to have a guest, I will at least make some sort of announcement for that, just to get people hyped up. And yeah, I'm just very excited. I'm in my office. This is my happy place. I have all my Taylor Swift merch, my Kelsey Ballerini stuff, art from my baby. This is my happy place. This is where my computer is. This is where I can nerd out. This is where I edit videos and make fun graphics and print things from my daughter. And I just love it here. So this is where this is happening. Those of you that have never been here and will never be here, you get a little glimpse into my house and my favorite room in it. And yeah, I think I'm going to end it here. I'm very sorry if I rambled. First episodes are kind of weird, getting to know each other / finding out what the heck this is going to be about. But I'm very excited. So we will see you guys in the next one. Bye.